123. Turn to page 138 for Lecha Dodi. And Adam, what verses are you doing today?
I'm planning on doing the first 3 verses and then the last.
Okay, the first 3 and then the last. Boi v'shalom. And then when we get to the last one, I might as well tell you now, we will face the entrance to our tent and bow to the Shabbat Queen, the Shabbat Bride. And then we all wave to each other, say hello, and greet each other. Shabbat Shalom.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet v'litila la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha, ki hi mekor ha'baracha, ve'rosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'asech b'mashavati la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech ir melucha, kumitzeim מתוך אהבך רב לך שווה בעמק הבכה וחוייך עמו עלייך נגלה לה 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 לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לה 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 לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת פלה גם בשמחה ובצרה תוך אמוני ים סגולה בואי חלה לה 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 לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לה 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 לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת נקבלה
So, as you already trained to do, we did remain standing for the Baruch as we turn to page 146. Are you doing Ahabat Olam today?
Yes.
I didn't have that in the lineup, which is a special treat. So let me see.
Oh, yeah, I can do it. That's right.
Yeah. So here we go. Let me just give them a page. 150. 150.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשכבנו וקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמשפטך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם ולילה
Page 152 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad.
You may be seated. We'll go to the Ve'ah Haftam, page 154. Let's go to page 158 for the Mi Chamocha. Let's do a reading. Let's do a reading on page 159. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Let's do a reading on page 161 about the Hashki Venu. Page 161 on the bottom. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. I invite you now to stand if you are able. We're going to move to page 164, and we're going to do the Amidah, the standing prayers. You can use the prayers of your hearts, or you can do any of the readings. Look at any of the readings from page 164 to 180. You may be seated when you're finished. We turn to page 180 for Osei Shalom.
Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, u'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu v'yachol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
We turn to page 179 for a reading, and then we will sing the Hebrew of it. So on the top, 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of the land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We turn to page 178, which means just look if you're facing the page, and we will sing with Adam a version of Shalom Rav by Jeffrey Klepper, page 178.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. B'tov einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Thank you, Adam, for. Oh! We're getting a couple of phone calls all at the same time. We best answer those phones. It's okay, don't worry about it. Just make sure it's nothing, no emergency. So we're going to turn to page 371 now. We're going to be thinking about those that are in need of healing. I have a list, and then I will walk around the tent, and you can mention the names of those that you're thinking of right now that you know are in need of healing. Neil Agnetta, Diane Alphys, John Binder, Hope Bongiorno, Reverend Jim Callahan, Ethan Carvalho, Alan and Karen Cooper, Bruce Corris, Sharon Kramer, Gloria Fine, Sue Frank, Barbara Freda, Carol Gettings, Carolyn and Ernie Grosser, Donna Horowitz, Hillary Kerman, Maya Ruth Corin Matlock, Jim Kiles, Miles Levy, Gail Lewis, Jake Lipshin, Michael Malik, Terry Miller, Aaron Nevler, Judy Ausowitz, Shannon Perry, Marty Ralabate, Dwight Reed, Sharon Rosenthal, Cheryl Rossi, Cindy Rotella, Beverly Rovner, David Rovner, Brandon Ryan, Eric Sabetta, Wyatt Alexander Simpson, Gary Spiesman, Einav Simons, Rex Tarman, Mike Wheeler, Matt Willard, Gail Zaretsky, Yonatan bat Deborah, Rivka bat Nancy, Abigail Ray, Yosef ben Zissel, Shmuel ben Miriam, Hinda Sara bat Rochel, Hanan Ezra ben Shuel, Liba bat Rachel, Shoshana bat Liba. I will say for Anita Klinger and Jill Klinger.
I've done me votes to Anita and then stop there.
Yeah, that's right.
Jean Village and Mariella Gachigalupo. Not important.
Marshall Friedman and all the Israeli soldiers that have been injured in the war in the Middle East.
Ernie Sabatelli, Guerrero, and Tom.
$371 for Mission Vera. You want to take a sip of water before we continue on? We are blessed tonight. Adam is singing and playing for us, and we can just hear the amount of training and studying that he has done. It's a lifetime pursuit for him. Since he was a small child, he has been musically inclined, I am absolutely sure, since day one. Yes? Yes. He says yes. And you know, he is studying at Crane School of Music in Fredonia. No,
SUNY Potsdam.
SUNY Potsdam. Okay. And you're going into your junior year? Senior year. Oh my. Wow. I should just be asking the questions rather than assuming because I was asking questions. Well, we are really blessed. But also, he likes to study Torah and he likes to think deeply about the Torah portions. So he's going to present to you a Devar Torah this evening. And I'll let him take this over.
Thank you so much, Cantor Frank. Oh, this is okay. All right, thank you so much, Cantor Frank, for allowing me to co-host this service. It's such a blessing to be here and to join in Shabbat with all of you. I just want to thank you all for being here this evening and supporting the work that we do here. Thanks so much. So I called this Devar Torah our choice in the matter because this is something that kept sticking out to me. When I read this week's Torah portion, I noted how it marks a crucial saga in the narrative of the Israelites' escape from Egypt, involving someone who is designated in the Talmud as one of only a handful of biblical characters who count as a non-Israelite prophet or a Gentile prophet. This is, of course, Balaam, or Bileam. He is the son of Beor, and he, in this very crucial portion, is faced with the dilemma of caving into a rich reward offered by the near-eye king Balak in exchange for placing a curse upon the Israelites, or instead obeying the word of his God and blessing the Israelites. Now, at first, he is completely resolute that he will not say anything that contradicts the will of his God, but he is more lenient in regards to his presence in Balak's court. Now, one could certainly interpret his hesitancy to abandon Balak entirely as a form of appeasement, perhaps manifested by anxiety, fear of retribution. However, God makes it clear that he is not approving of this, and he directs Balaam's hand through a series of interventions, including compelling Balaam's donkey to speak. And, yeah, that would be surprising, right? Making him aware of God's omnipresence. And, of course, even sending an angel to put specific words into his mouth and compel him to say those words in Balak's presence, at great risk to his own reward that he is going to receive. Eventually, of course, he is so overcome with admiration for the Israelite people that he shouts the now famous verse, Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. Now, one fascinating aspect of this story is that Balaam does not simply have one moment of defiance toward Balak. Rather, he is taken by this king to 3 different locations due to Balak's misguided hope that Balaam will be able to expunge himself of God's influence if he is removed from a certain physical space. Of course, we know this to not be the case, as God is omnipresent and with us wherever we go. So, of course, in each of these locations, Balaam fervently rejects Balak's wishes to curse the Israelites and instead offers a blessing that is more enthusiastic and intense and personal each time. Now, I want to point out that the wording is significantly different on the third and final time. Each of these blessings are structured into poems, and there's considered to be 7 poems in total, reinforcing, of course, the biblical importance of the recurring number of 7 throughout. But this third and final time that he begins his words in a different location, Balaam no longer seems directly compelled, or you might say possessed, by the angel's influence, but rather he's infused with the Spirit of God in a transaction that seems to be motivated by a clear exchange of free will. Now, Chaim Ibn Attar offers the following interpretation. We must remember that up until this point, Balaam had uttered only words which the angel had put into his mouth. All the words he had spoken were the complete opposite of what he wished to say. So this time, we are seeing a complete transformation in Balaam's attitude towards this entire scenario. He's no longer simply possessed or compelled to do the opposite of what he thinks is right. He feels empowered to do what he knows is right. Now, perhaps it's his newfound motivation to reconcile his upbringing and background with his desire to do what is right by God that leads him to speak so much more passionately of the virtues of the Jewish people at this moment, whereas before the angel's possession led to his dialogue resembling perhaps that of an empty shell, someone so caught up in this appeasement that we talk of and these social niceties that there remains no real truth or enthusiasm behind their words. Now, it is an oft-debated point of contention among rabbinic scholars whether Balaam's designation of himself as the man whose eye is true indicates whether or not Balaam's intentions are pure, or if he is using true as more of a placeholder for open. So that would imply that Balaam wasn't fully aware of his surroundings and the pivotal role he would come to play in ensuring the success and the survival of the Israelite tribe before God has opened his eyes. Hezekiah ben Manoah tells us in his commentary that having this kind of divinely inspired vision, even while asleep, as we're told in this portion of Numbers, clearly implies a prophetic glance at the future, thereby explaining why Balaam can state with confidence that the Israelites will surely vanquish all other tribes that rise up against them. He name-checks Amalek and the Canaanites in this section. Regardless, Balaam assures his audience that he is still prostrate but with eyes unveiled, showing us that although he is ultimately still subservient to the will of God, it is still his honest and fully informed choice to serve that will rather than to bend to the demands of evil for a mere financial reward. This, of course, leads us to the question of how much choice we have in our own interactions with others and how we can embody this tenet of free will in carrying forth God's will into the world. When we are asked to deny our strongest impulses for some worldly reward, it can feel impossible to find the true freedom to say what is on our mind regardless, or to continue to support what we know to be just and right. Similarly, when we study Torah for lengthy periods of time without keeping an open mind and being willing to question our own perceptions or interpretations of what we are reading, it can also be hard to feel that we are making an active choice to uphold a certain opinion or simply feel a certain way. Are we reaching our innermost convictions on our own accord, or are we just repeating what our parents and our teachers have taught us? Now, Balaam, of course, certainly set an exceptional example with his repudiation of Balak's destructive mindset in his staunch defense of the virtues of Israel. But it can be truly difficult to reach this point where we feel emotionally ready to follow through with such strong statements. Perhaps a better and more realistic way to start this journey is to acknowledge the quiet strength that we carry in continuing to immerse ourselves in our communities and families, rather than withdrawing entirely. We are all making the choice to keep exploring our Jewish faith in earnest and to reach out to others on both similar and different pathways, in hopes that our common ground might run deeper than our dividing factors, because I'm 100% sure that it does. Most importantly, we are keeping our eyes open, just as Balaam did his, so that when truths reveal themselves to us, even in the strangest ways possible, we're prepared to accept their meaning into our lives and to use those truths to brighten the lives around us. So with that, I want to wish you all a very peaceful Shabbat, and I want to thank you all again for joining us all on this wonderful evening.
Let's turn to page 586 for Elena. And please rise. you're thinking today, you can turn to page 598 if you like and just hold your finger in the book right there to hold that spot for you. We're thinking today of a few people who we are still observing Shiloshim. That means the 30-day period after the death, and that's Sally Bloom, Rosa Kramer, Louise Myers, Shirley Raccoon, Herschel Sandberg, and Charles Vogel. We're observing Yortzeit, which means it's the anniversary of their passing tonight, for the following people: Sylvia Ackerholt, Morris Bardak, Freda Berger, Joseph Billick, Ann Bunis, Alan Eber, Samuel Fertig, Louis Fishman, Morton Frankfurt, Lena Freed, Cecilia Friedman, Harold Gefsky, Avram Gilden, Yale Goldstein, Helen Hirsch, Hanley M. Horowitz, Sanford L. Horowitz, Ira Queller, Arthur Melamed, Marilyn Miller, Samuel Neberg, Milton Newman, Susan Pizzino, Ruth Ann G. Rakin, Henry Reinhardt, Harry Raccoon, Asena Schweitzer, Harry Seitz, Harry Sirota, Heinrich Spurring, William Steinhurst, Matilda S. Taxon, Doris Tubin, Abraham Winiger, Dorothy Wisniewski, and Ada Wolpin. I'll now travel around, and you can mention the names of those that you're thinking of right now that is possibly close to the yurt site.
My Uncle Bob Bernstein. Spencer Rosenthal.
Two of the Israeli soldiers there.
Okay, let's rise as we turn to page 598. Yikadam, Yikadash, Shemei Rabah, Yamah, Yirah, Yirutei, Yam Lichma, Utei, B'chayechon, Yamechon, B'chaye, Tachol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalah, Yisman Hari, V'yiru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam U'Aleinu Amen. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei v'yidusha b'richu ve'elam mikol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'yalma v'yimru Amen. Yehei Shlomo Rabba Yishmaya V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom V'bracha Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'al Kol Yoshei Tevel V'yimru Amen. You may be seated. Oh, Joanne is coming up to read announcements tonight. It's very low, so you should probably just hold it to your mouth. It's just very low.
Shabbat Shalom. We hope you enjoyed our outdoor service this evening. Very special thank you to Sherry Jo Reich for sponsoring our new iPhone to enable us to stream services in the best possible quality. Thank you so much, Sherry Jo. Thank you to our service greeter this evening, Maureen Seitz. We appreciate your help. And we would like to thank Adam Biter for leading our service in such a very special way. We're so grateful that you're here with us, and with Cantor Frank as well. Tomorrow, there's Torah study at 9 a.m. on Zoom or at Temple Besedik, followed by the Shabbat morning service, also at Temple Besedik at 10:45. On Thursday, we'll be holding a Red Cross blood drive at Shir Shalom from 1 to 6 p.m. and it's sponsored by New York representative and our member, Karen McMahon. We have flyers by the prayer books, and you can scan the QR code and make an appointment to donate. Thank you for your support. All this month, our Tikkun alum team is in collaboration with the Women of Shir Shalom, and we are collecting monetary donations for Dignity Grows. The donation box will be in our foyer, and thank you for support of that project. And we're very grateful that our office was renovated, so feel free to stop by the next time you're in. Thank you to everyone who volunteered and or purchased Chevettas this week. Chevettas will be back on Tuesday, July 30th from 4 to 7 or until sold out. And if you pre-order on our website, you can save $1. There is a weekly walk for the hostages on Sundays at 10 in honor of Bring Them Home Now, and we have flyers about that inside the building outside the office. Join us next Friday at 6 p.m. for our outdoor service, weather permitting. Noah Budin will be back. If you've ever heard him, he's wonderful. We're very excited. He's joining us next Friday. And we have been having ballroom dancing class, and that'll return on Thursday, August 22nd. And we'll also be celebrating our instructor Karen's birthday. Come and celebrate with us.
I have flyers here if anybody wants to take a flyer home to remind you to have some fun.
Join the Women of Shir Shalom for their donor luncheon high tea on Sunday, July 28th at noon. It was a lovely, well-attended event last year, so don't miss this opportunity. There'll be basket raffles, vendors, tea sandwiches and dessert, and photo ops this year. There are reservation forms outside the temple office. We also wanted to share that Bruce Corris is recovering from open heart surgery. He is at rehab now. Please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to Cantor Frank, Todd, or myself. We're here for you. And we hope that Rabbi Alex is enjoying his sabbatical. Please join us for the Onik Shabbat, and if you would ever like to sponsor an Onik for an occasion or no occasion at all, please let me know. Shabbat Shalom and Am Yisrael.
One more plug, August 30th, the last Friday night under the tent, God willing, right? No rain, is Jamaica Farewell. And it's the end cookout and everything else that comes along with that, maybe some other surprises. So anyway, so some Caribbean type delicacies perhaps. And it's going to be great. We have about 8 musicians involved. We've been rehearsing for months and still are rehearsing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So just another plug. And let us turn to page 625 as Adam leads us out with Adon Olam.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, B'chetzol Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, B'yad Charei, Kichlot HaKol,
נשא בחץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה אדון עולם, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא מעוז והמזרע אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, בעת נשא בחץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, בצורכם ליבי עת צרה אדון עולם, והוא ניסי ומנוסי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, בעת נשא בחץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון העולם. עודו אכיר רוחי, בעת תשען בי האירה אדון העולם, בעיר רוחי הביאתי, אדון אני ולא אירא אדון העולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא בחץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם.
As you came in peace, may you leave in peace and strength to you for this Shabbat and the whole coming week. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam.